Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put what we know about the reference angles and about how they relate to the trig functions, and we're going to show you how to actually apply it. Okay, so we've got four different problems here. Two of them are in degrees, and two are in radians. So the first thing is we're almost always going to just convert them to degrees. So if they're not in degrees, we're going to put them in degrees. So this one's ready to go. So 240 degrees. So we know that this is going to be, I'm going to switch over to black here. This is going to be my initial side, right? So here's your vertex. Here's your initial side ray. It's going to go 90, 180, and then whatever's left to get to 240. So what's left to get to 240, and let's remember this number, all right, is 60 degrees because we're going to go minus 180, which is 60. And then so we're going to go about what about 60 degrees is, which is about 2/3 of the way through, right? And then this is going to be your main angle, right? And then we'll put in just 240 degrees here. Now what we're looking for is the reference angle so we can find our trig value. So that is in relation to the nearest x-axis, which is right here. And so it's going to be between here and here. And so we're looking for this angle right here. And when we graphed this, we actually found it because we figured out that, well, hey, this is 180, so whatever's left before you get to the next quadrant marker is what your measure is going to be. And we found that that was 60 degrees, right? So we're going to take 60 degrees, and that's what we're going to use for our cosine. All right, we're going to find out what is the cosine of 60 degrees. So to do that, we'll look at our charts. And the 60 degrees are all down here, and the cosine of 60 degrees is 1/2. All right, and so, sorry, wrong thing there. So we'll go cosine of 60 degrees is 1/2. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, we are in this quadrant right here. So we're in quadrant 3. Remember, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, counting counterclockwise, right, starting from here. So quadrant 3. And so we're going to look at our thing. Quadrant 3 is right here, and you'll see here that your cosine values for quadrant 3 are all negative. Okay, so because of that, we will say, therefore, the cosine of 240 degrees is equal to -1/2. So that is the process: is find your reference angle, find the trig function of that, and then adjust it for what quadrant it's in, and then that's going to give you your original value of what you want. All right, so let's do that for this sine function. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to switch over to black again and find our first angle. So we know we're going to go at least 90 degrees because it's 135. So 90, and then we're going to go an additional 45 degrees. Just going to put us kind of smack dab in the middle right here, right? And I know I'm going 45 degrees because for this, I just said, well, 90 plus what is going to get me to 135. So if you just subtract 90, you get 45 degrees, right? And that's how I got that. So that's 135 degrees. Now we are going to figure out what's this angle right here. This is what we want. We want our reference angle. Okay, so the reference angle is going to be, well, let's just take 180 and subtract 135 from it, right? And that is going to get me 45 degrees. All right, it's always going to be a positive number, and so we're going to find the sine of 45 degrees. So the sine of 45 degrees is, I believe that's square root of 2 over 2, but let's look at our thing. So the sine and cosine of 45 degrees are always the same. So square root of 2 over 2. So let's go back here, square root of 2 over 2. And so now we're going to take that and establish what is the sine of 135 degrees. And all you have to do is you take this number, and we're going to, it's either going to be positive or negative depending upon what we do with our sine values in quadrant 2. So quadrant 2, you look at your sine values are positive in quadrant 2. So it's going to stay the same. So it's going to be equal to square root of 2 over 2. We didn't change anything, right? We found the original, and then you reference it and do that. So we'll stop the video here, and then in the next video we'll show you how to do that when we have to work with radians. All right, so exact value trig functions with degrees is what we kind of did here, and then in the next one we're going to look at what do we do with radians, and it's going to be pretty much the same thing except we just got to do our conversion up front. All right, so we'll see.